Well, hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Whiskey Calling here. Wednesday evening, got home from work and thought, you know what? I want to do a little tasting and share with you guys what I think about Maker's Mark number 46. It's a bourbon, of course. I believe it's 47%. Yep, 40% alcohol volume. And this is sort of an interesting one. I got a little spoiler alert here. I've definitely been enjoying this bottle. I just bought it last Friday, and it's kind of making its way down for sure. And the funny thing is, I Maker's Mark. I remember trying it early on in my whiskey journey about 3 years ago when it started, and not minding Maker's Mark, but finding it a little bit sweet, almost a little bit syrupy, and maybe not overly flavorful. I haven't really tried it too often since. On occasion, and it's not bad. I don't absolutely dislike it, but it wasn't something I was thinking about buying again or focusing on at all. And I ended up, just for fun, buying this slightly different version. And it's got a little bit of description on the bottle what it is, and I was very pleasantly surprised by it. So I'll just let you guys know kind of what this is about. And so anyways, it's Maker's Mark, French oaked, it says. Kentucky-style bourbon whiskey, barrel finished with 10 virgin French oak staves, straight bourbon whiskey, 47%. And it's called, I believe, it's signed by Bill. It's called Bill's Recipe number 46. And it says here, Bill Jr. finished this bourbon with virgin French oak staves for extra wood spice, bolder notes of vanilla and caramel, and a longer finish. It was stave profile number 46 that did the trick. And I believe I found this is interesting as well. It says, a few years back, I became obsessed with creating a new expression of Maker's Mark with our classic taste notes boldly amplified. After a lot of trial and error, I decided to finish fully matured Maker's Mark in the barrel a little longer, and came up with a winner. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So I found this sort of interesting because that was maybe one of my knocks on the regular Maker's Mark, maybe a little bit on the blander side, and a little bit syrupy, and maybe not in the best way, and a little bit sweet. But this was, I'll give it a sip here and see what I'm tasting today. But I have been enjoying this. So anyways, folks, I hope I've already got it poured here. It's nice dark color, as you can see. But I hope, folks, that you've got something poured yourself tonight. If you've got Maker's Mark, any kind of Maker's Mark, I actually think I've got the regular Maker's Mark downstairs, and it would have been, downstairs at the bar. It would have been a good idea to do a little bit of a comparison, but I was a little bit too lazy to go down there at the moment, so I just sort of thought, I'll shoot this video. I'd already poured this. I thought, hang on, I poured it, come home and poured it because I've been enjoying it. I thought, hang on, I got to shoot a video about this. So anyways, folks, cheers. Hope you got something you're tasting yourself, and I'm gonna have see what it's like on the nose first, and then give it a taste. Yeah, so just a nice, rich, deep smell to it. A little bit of brown sugar, layered brown sugar and vanilla. And I really like vanilla in any whiskey, particularly bourbons. And I like brown sugar in bourbons too. Bourbons that are a little more of that brown sugar sweetness. If they've got that, I'm a sucker for that as well. So this has that on the nose for sure, both those things. Let's see what it tastes like. This has got a nice spice to it. Layered spice throughout. So it's got a kick, it's not boring. It's not too subtle. Obviously, you said in here they're looking for something bolder, a little more amplified. I really think they've done a good job with this one. To me, it's reminding me a little bit of Wild Turkey 101. In that, there's a bit of spiciness. It's just, it's not exactly like that, of course, but it reminds me of that a little bit. It reminds me maybe a touch of Elijah Craig, maybe a touch of Knob Creek, which I'm big fans of both of those. Sort of that whole wheelhouse of, to me, what kind of my favorite bourbon profiles are. Have another sip here. Mm-hmm. Mm. Again, vanilla, maybe a little bit of graham cracker, cinnamon bun, cinnamon bun with cream cheese icing, brown sugar, and it's got a really nice texture. It's I'd said that sometimes my experience with the regular Maker's Mark was a little bit syrupy. This, and generally I like a whiskey that's got some thickness to it that kind of coats your mouth. So syrupy isn't usually bad, but I guess when I'm using the term syrupy, it wasn't my favorite. It was sort of just syrupy, where it's just like a sweet coating that almost just sort of doesn't have the flavor accompanied with it. And it just kind of got in the way. I almost found it in a funny way. This is maybe a little bit less syrupy than I remember the regular Maker's Mark being, in a good way. But it's got so much flavor. The spice is hitting you. There's also some caramel in there, toffee. I get some of that from, Wild Turkey, for example. And so it's mixing all of that together in a really, really nice way. Have another sip here. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All those notes, caramel, toffee, brown sugar, spice. There's a nice heat to it, a nice spicy kick to it, right from the beginning and the end. Sometimes I find with whiskeys, you've got maybe the spice is a little more pronounced, at the beginning of the sip versus the middle versus the end. This has got a nice kick where it just kind of hits all the way through. It's got a nice little spice that just kind of starts early and just sort of travels through the whole sip in a really nice way. And then there's sort of just this fade into this caramel toffee, just sort of a caramel toffee finish that just kind of lingers and it stays there, and it's a nice long finish. And your mouth kind of stays coated with that, and it just sort of hangs in there. It's a very, very nice mellow combination. Like I can't speak enough about this. This is excellent. And I'll give you guys another look at the bottle here. And maybe one of my next videos, I should do a little flight with regular Maker's Mark. And maybe I should give another look at some other Maker's Mark varieties out there. Maybe a cask strength or something if they've got that, which I'm sure they do. I haven't done tons of research because I kind of, written Maker's Mark off just a little bit, and boy, I've come back to this and I'm like, this is a really nice tasting bourbon. I really, really like it a lot. So folks, anyways, I thought I'd just share that and give it a thumbs up. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's that time of year. A couple weeks, Christmas will be here. So I hope you guys are having a great holiday season. Wish a great holiday season to everybody. Cheers, and we'll talk again soon, everybody.